All right, let's try that. Okay. I think we have it working now, so let's give it like a minute or two and then we can get started. Cool, I can see some people jumping in, so maybe another like 30 seconds or so. All right, I reckon we're good to get started if you are.
So we can go?
Yeah, let's go. So thank you to everyone who's jumped in to join today. We've got another seminar for you, this time with Zigtur, and basically just going through his journey to becoming a security researcher. He's currently number 2 on Cantina's leaderboard, and I think I remember in maybe July, was it, that we did the researcher highlight, and yeah, you've just kind of shot up the ranks pretty much out of nowhere. So definitely interested to hear how you did it.
Yeah, so that's the point of this seminar, so it's all right.
Definitely. Over to you.
Okay, so welcome everyone, and thank you Cantina for this seminar. So today we are going to talk about my approach that I use to basically go from newbie to security researcher and lead almost lead the Cantina platform. Zach is still in front of me, but
so
at
close.
some point I will do it. I will rank first sometime. So yeah, that's it. So in this seminar we are going into 4 parts. The first one I will present myself and will explain you from where I'm coming. And then we are going to see that at first I was bad, really bad. And then once I understood that I was bad, I did something that maybe you don't know, you don't do, that helped me a lot to really get good and break more and more code bases. And in the last part, we will see the result of the methodology that I used during the last months. So first, I'm Zigtur. I'm currently a security researcher at Spearbit. I'm also an instructor at Rare Skills, giving some course about Rust. And before that, I was a student at Rare Skills, especially on the Solidity Bootcamp. And so, as we said, I'm currently this second on the Cantina leaderboard. So before 2024, I was a cybersecurity student in Web 2, but it was not that technical. It was more analyzing risk, so risk assessment, and it was really not that technical, not as much as what I do today. And so during the studies, I worked as an apprentice in securing embedded systems. And during my studies, I did a really interesting project that has bring Web3 to me. It was the post-quantum blockchain that I'm going to detail it a little bit because I think it's pretty interesting. And after this project, I decided to follow the Rare Skill Solidity Bootcamp. So that was 2023. So let's talk a little bit about the post-quantum blockchain project that I worked on. Most of you know that when you are interacting with Ethereum and you are making a transaction, you are signing it with the SecP K1 elliptic curve with the ECDSA algorithm signature. But there exist other blockchains such as Solana or Near that allows to use another algorithm that is named EDDSA, and this is still using elliptic curve but different one. So yeah, the post-quantum blockchain is based on Near because it allows to use two types of keys, which is pretty interesting. But the issue with all these keys is that elliptic curve cryptography could be broken by a quantum computer. So basically we take a quantum computer that is really working, because today it's not the case, and we take the Shor algorithm, and with that we are able to break all the security that is allowed by blockchains nowadays. So yeah, the day a quantum computer works, like it could break every secret key that is used on any blockchain. So that's a problem. And so with some friends, we decided to work on a project named the PQB, post-quantum blockchain. And the goal was to use a signature algorithm that is different than the others. It does not use the same mass behind the thing. So in this case, we were using the Falcon algorithm that is using lattices to do cryptography. And with that, you can sign a transaction. And this specific mass are not shown to be broken by a quantum computer for now. So the goal would be to really secure against a quantum computer. The issue with that project is that a signature from an elliptic curve is pretty small, like 64 bytes most of the time. But with this type of algorithm, like for Falcon, it was 660 bytes. So it's more than 10 times more. So it's not usable in production. So that's it for this part. Okay. So now let's see what was the start of my Web3 security audit journey. So my first contest was Sparkling on CodeHawks, and I earned like $5, which is really good for the first one. And yeah, there was a lot of people competing in this competition. So yeah, I ranked like more than 100. It was pretty bad. And yeah, my second one was in November 2023 at the start of Cantina, and it was super form. So yeah, I ranked as 21st, but it was not the. I think I had this rank because there was not that much people on the platform, as it was pretty close at the beginning. I can show you the bug that I found. It's like, hey, so we are in a transfer from function basically, and we are checking that the allowance is given to the current color, but we are decreasing the allowance from another address, which doesn't make any sense. So that was that easy. This was an easy bug, and it was found by more than 10 researchers, so it was pretty easy to find. So yeah, Superform was my really first contest in which I committed at 100%, and seeing that I ranked 21st is not good. And so that was the turning point in my journey, because I said, okay, I'm bad. This is a proof that I'm bad. I can't make it even more clear. I'm bad. So from this point, I will just work to become good, and so that's what we are going to talk right now, and I think it's the valuable part. So yeah, I asked myself some questions. Why am I bad? Most of the time, it is because I don't know what to look for, or I don't focus enough. It can also be I'm missing vulnerabilities that I know or I've met before, but I can't use that knowledge in a new contest, and this is really bad because you are just losing time and money. And yeah, the last point is that I don't have experience. So these are the reasons why I'm bad. But yeah, now that we have identified them, we can just work to make them disappear, basically. So yeah, we are going into the approach. Let's say that we have a new competition coming. The first thing to do is we can answer to the problem, I don't know what to look for. First, you need to understand the goals of the protocol. Like if it's a lending protocol, I want to lend money. But then you will have to visualize how it works. I like to do drawings, but I know a lot of researchers don't do drawings. I think it's really, you should do drawings if you like them. If you don't like them and they don't bring value to you, you are just losing time doing them, then you can avoid it, because if you don't like what you are doing, then it makes no sense and you will not succeed. But once you really understand how it works, you must identify where it could break. Like, for example, if I retake the lending protocol, I know that I have a deposit function, a withdrawal function, something to borrow, one to repay, and a workflow to liquidate. So basically, these 5 workflows are like the most important one in the code base, and all the other things are more in periphery of these 5 workflows. Like, for example, there can be admin functions that are just setting some values, or view functions, which may not be that important. So once you identify those 5 workflows, you can say, okay, I know that there exist rounding issues. So rounding issues can happen when I'm depositing liquidity or withdrawing. So yeah, you must identify where it could break, and for example, external integration. Yeah, I give some example or calculations. So I like to call this stage the threat model. So it's really coming. It's really the start of a new competition, a new code base that you have to audit, and it will, yeah, basically it's the beginning of all your understanding of the code base. So yeah, then the other issue that I talked about was I don't focus enough. I think that having energy is really important, because if you have good energy, you can easily focus more easily. And yeah, if you focus more and in a better way, you will be better at the end. So for that, I like to have good sleep. I like to eat healthy, especially on lunch. I can feel sleepy if I eat a lot of carbs. So I avoid them at lunch. And yeah, being fit, like going outside, walking, doing sports is really important, especially when you focus for extended hours. Like try to take a break, go outside, take some fresh air, and you will come back even more focused and energized. So yeah, that's the second point. Something that is not easy to understand at first. You don't need to be deeply focused 100% of your time, because first your brain can't do it, like studies show it. And for my personal case, I do really deep focus work only 4 hours a day, and the rest of it is not I'm not doing nothing. I'm just preparing my next deep work slot. So this is really important. You must have uh, really some slots in which you have no music, nothing to distract you. Uh, like no music. If you really focus more by having some music, then do it. But yeah, you must really focus on one thing in this deep work slot. And with when you are in this deep work, you must deload your brain. Like if you are thinking about something and you want to check it, but you are also checking another thing at the same time, then you should not keep that in your brain. You should take it on notes, because if you keep it in your brain, it will just stay here, and you will be less focused on what you were doing before. So yeah, that's important. I like to take notes on Notion, for example, but you can do it on a Markdown file or anything. And especially if it's something that you can check without being deeply focused, then put it on notes, and you will check it in later when you will be less focused, and you don't need that focus for this specific task. Yep. And yeah, so this is it. Yeah, this is what I said. It's small things that don't require a lot of focus. You can just postpone it to check it later. And yeah, the last point, to find bugs, you must dig into code areas that you don't understand and that you don't want to dig because it's too difficult. if you don't want to dig it because it's just an admin function and at the end it will ends up in being a law, then I understand you. But if you are feeling that you don't understand what is done, you must really dig in that part because, yeah, for sure, if you don't understand it, there are a lot of chances that the developer did not understand it also. So yeah, you will find bugs in these code areas for sure. So yeah, this is the most important part of your contest. Like this manual review will bring maybe not all the bugs because in the threat model you may have some small bugs that are easy to find, but for really difficult one, the ones that allows you to go high in the rank, you must be really focused in that manual review part. And yeah, I like to make this double arrows because you can go from manual review into, so manual review will bring you more knowledge about the code base, and then you can think about other attack vectors, new attack ideas that will feed your manual review at the end, and yeah, you can go back and forth between these two parts. Then once the competition ends, there will be the results that will be announced. And here is the most important part of the process, I think. It's some people call it the feedback loop. So yeah, I'm missing vulnerabilities that I already know or that I've met before. For that, what I do is to put my knowledge in a document so that I deload my brain once again, and I'm sure that yeah, so this can be an auditing template or a checklist, so you can have your own checklist for it. And yeah, with that you ensure that you will not miss it, because just because your brain will forget it or will not think about it at the right time. Like you did not forget it, but you did not think about it at the time it was required. So just put it on some notes on a knowledge base, and you will check it during your audit. You will take time because it's not something that you require deep focus. You can put it into the time slot where you are not that much focused, if it's just something to check. So we end up with this process in which, like, after the competition is even more important than the before, because you are already preparing the next audit with that. And the last one, I don't have experience, is an issue, but it's not really an issue because every competition you are participating in increases your experience. So you have experience, but the main problem is that you are not extracting 100% value from this experience. So yeah, that for me it was the problem, at least. And so with that problem, the point, because I have experience, but don't extract 100% value from it. So the thing that I do after the results of a competition is to understand every issue that I missed. So this is the first part, because if I don't understand the issue, for sure I will not be able to reproduce it. But then you have to think about why you missed this issue. And so this is not about the code base anymore. This is about you. So is it a lack of knowledge? Or maybe you didn't think about that. So that's what I was talking about before in the knowledge base section. And yeah, for example, you did not dig enough in a sensitive code area that you identified because you were tired, for example, or you may not have identified some part of the code as sensitive. And so, yeah, this is it. You must find the root cause why you didn't find this specific issue. And once you know why you missed this issue, you just have to modify your way of working, your work process, to be sure to not miss it the next time. So, as I said, the knowledge base is really helpful for that. Especially you need to, when you audit, you need to identify code areas that are potentially sensitive. So this was in the threat model part. And you use your knowledge base to know which parts are potentially sensitive. And so, yeah, it helps build your knowledge base, but also your intuition. Like, it's not always about the knowledge base and the knowledge you have. It's just you have to feel where the bugs are. And this comes with multiple audits. Once you identify patterns, like today, just by understanding how the protocol work, I know approximately where, like I don't know where are the bugs, but I know where they will be most probably. And this is it. At the end, your experience is the most important thing, because it really impacts everything in your audit. But having some knowledge base will help you a lot. So yeah, if you have to really get something from this seminar, is just try to get 100% value from all your experiences, and you will level up for sure. So yeah, to summarize it, you must create your own methodology, the one that you like, because the one that I use today is not the one that I used 6 months from now. And it may change in the upcoming months. And so this is just for myself, but for sure I'm not auditing in the same way than every other auditor. Visualizing code base is really important, because when you understand how it works, then you can identify where it could potentially break. So this is completing the think about potential issues section. And yeah, focus deeply, because you need it for sure. This is a job in which you really need to focus hard to find bugs. And yeah, I will not let you down with that. Extract as much value as possible from all your experiences. This is the most important thing from this seminar. And so by applying all this approach that I detailed before, I went from Superform in November 2023, in which, it was pretty bad results. So I took the whole December months to prepare. And then in January, I came back with a Code Arena and Cantina contest, so Opus and Olas. And in the first one, I was ranked sixth, and in the second, I was ranked fifth. So it was the second one was on Solana, and the first one was on Cairo. So it was my first time auditing both. The February month was really good because I ranked really good in Blast. So yeah, I ranked sixth because in the leaderboard on Cantina, there was a team before me, so they are taking two ranks instead of one because they were a team. So yeah, but yeah, by applying this process that loops, and you will get more and more efficient and better in each iteration of your process. So you will get better at every competition you do until you rank first, and then you can't improve anymore. But I'm not sure that you can rank first in every contest. It's pretty hard to do. And so I continued uh, my increase in results by ranking two times second in the same month in March 2024, and with pretty good earnings in this case. And that's it.
That was awesome. Thank you. I have a couple of questions from my side, and I've seen a couple in the post as well. But just a reminder that if anyone wants to ask any questions, pop them in the replies, and I can ask them. I'll start with mine first. So the first one is, I know that you're now an SR with Spearbit. Do you approach reviews any differently to competitions, or do you apply the same methodology that you outlined there?
This is really interesting as a question. So, yeah, I did my first Spearbit review a month ago. And so, yeah, I just met the lead security researcher, and we were talking about this difference. And I don't use the same approach because in competition, I have to find the bugs. While in an audit, I can use the team that is responding, and I can use the shotgun approach. It's like, okay, I'm reading this code. I'm not sure what it does. So I put a comment, and the sponsor, like the client, is going to respond to it, and will explain things if I don't understand them. While in the competition, it's more I have to find the bugs, so I have to understand everything by my own. I can ask some questions, but I will lose time, and in this case, it's different. In all the rest, it's pretty the same. Like, I want to visualize the code base. How is it working? I like to do drawings with function calls. And so, yeah, that helps me a lot during the manual review because I'm using some extension from VS Code to integrate with Draw.io, and then I can split my screen in two, having my drawings on the right and my code on the left. And then by double clicking on blocks in Draw.io, I can just so I will the code appears on the VS Code. So this is I can share the extension if some wants. Uh, but this is on the VS Code marketplace, and this is really useful to navigate. So with your drawing, you visualize your code base, and with this extension, you can just navigate it easily.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And then a follow-up to that question, more of a fun question. Do you prefer reviews or competitions? Do you know yet which you prefer?
That's a tricky question. I think, yeah, I think competition are really cool because if you are good, you rank well,
Yeah.
while it's not that transparent in a review, in a private review.
Yeah, the competition like taps into human psychology of wanting to
Yeah,
win, which is
yeah.
how we got here. And then one more question from my side, and then I'll have a little look at the replies. But you spoke a lot about focus earlier on in the presentation. I guess this might be a tricky question too, but would you say that anyone with enough focus can get good at code review? Or do you think like some people are just wired that way? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. I think that having some programming experience is useful, but yeah, at the end we are just like I don't when I talk to people, I don't like to people that are not in the space. I like to say that I'm just understanding a logic and trying to break it. But this logic is just code. So if you can translate this code to the logic, and I guess everyone can understand a logic and break it. So this is just the fact that it is code and it afrays people. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
at
just
the
the
end,
form
it's
that the
just a
logic
logic.
comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool. All right, I'm seeing a couple of questions in the replies. So the first one, how did you get so good at Photoshop and where can I learn? So asked someone about your Photoshopping skills.
I'm not even using Photoshop because I'm on Linux, so I'm using GIMP. GIMP, it's
that's
an
the
open
alpha.
source tool, which is yeah awful.
That is the alpha. Don't use Photoshop. And then the other question was, you mentioned between, I think it was Superform and what was the next one? Opus and Alice? Or maybe it was between, it was during the period in December. Yeah, December. What did you do during that preparation phase between November Superform and January Opus and Alas? Like, what did you do to prepare over that time?
Okay, so yeah, it was preparing this whole approach because it did not exist, or yeah, I wanted to create my own thing. I know that a lot of researchers are posting their process, how they work, but I don't think that it is something you can copy and paste from people to people and it just work like this. I had to build it, so it took a month because I had to build my knowledge base, my feedback template, because I have a template for every contest that I do. Like I have a feedback thing. I have a template for the audit. So yeah, and I built everything in December, and then it moved a lot thanks to the feedback loop
Yeah.
because it was yeah. don't try to make it perfect in the first round. It will become perfect to you because it for sure what you are doing will not fit to me. And yeah, you will get better and have better tools, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I like that. So you spent that time basically like learning the best way to set it up for yourself and then creating the templates and outlines that suit you best. Awesome.
Yeah, and so sometimes I receive some messages about, can you share me your process or things
Yeah.
like that, and yeah, I can do it if you want, but you will not apply because it's not yours. You are not proud of it, or and yeah, it doesn't give you any happiness or what. And so building your own process will make you better, and you will really enjoy your journey because you are getting better, but it's not because of anyone else. It's just because of yourself, and you have built everything to become good. So yeah.
I love that. Cool. I think that was all the questions in the replies. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much again for
Oh,
this.
I
Did you?
see some right now on the
Or maybe on your post. That's a good point.
yeah, on the space directly. Like there is, how did you prepare to this competition? Did you already got experience in Solana? So I did not get any experience from Solana, but I have experience in Rust, which really helps. But yeah, Solana, the thing is, you may know Rust, but Solana has a really strange compared to Ethereum way of handling the data. In Ethereum, when you have a contract, your code and your data about this code is really attached, while in Solana, it is two different things, and you can use different data with the same code. Uh, so yeah, there are a lot of issues with that. But reading the docs and understanding how it works takes times. I was pretty happy to rank this good in OLAS, but yeah, now that I have done multiple audits in Solana, I feel more confident for sure. But yeah, Solana is pretty different than Ethereum.
Nice. Can you see any more questions on your side? I'm just having a look through now.
Yeah, there is someone asking, how did you learn about new vulnerabilities or way to look at them? And he also asked if I read Solidit report. I don't read Solidit report. I may have read once, one or two, maybe two, but that's not something that makes me feel. Yeah, I don't like it, so I don't do it. But yeah, the thing is, when you are reading a Solidit report, you don't understand the protocol behind it, and you don't understand how it works. This is the part I was explaining in the threat model. And if you don't have that knowledge, how can you understand the issue and be able to identify, would you have missed it in these conditions? Yeah, basically, it's just taking something out of context and trying to understand it, and you can't apply it to yourself because you were not there to work on this audit. So yeah, just my advice would be to stop doing Solidit reports reading. Just take one contest that you like or inspire you at the time, do it, try to understand everything, try to find bugs. You may be surprised because you find something that you didn't expect, or and once the results are out, you can just take those results, analyze all of them, and this time you have the context because you audited this code base. And then you can apply what I told before, analyzing what did you miss it and increase in that. And you are also asking how to find ways to look at them. You will see that by analyzing bugs that you missed, you will for sure identify new attack vectors, but you will have some intuition, some attacker mindset that helps a lot finding bugs. So this is the thing I was talking about when I say that now just by having the way the protocol works, I can identify where it can break, where it has the most probability of breaking. So yeah, this is coming from this intuition that you build. You can't read some article and get it. You have to work on it, and it comes with the time and effort.
Learn by doing.
And there is a last one. Do you do multiple contest audits in parallel, I guess? Because
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because I think that most of the bugs I've found are in the deep focus time that I talked about. And the rest of the time that I have, it's not that focused. And so I can prepare my next audit. So during auditing another one, so it's just, yeah, I have some, I can do multiple at once. But
As long as the deep focus sections are like properly deep focus.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Cool.
And
All right, one last call for questions. You've got 30 seconds to ask them. If anyone's got any more. I think we might be good.
Yeah, I think there is some delay. Yeah.
No, this has been awesome. And I will be uploading it to the Cantina YouTube channel as well for people who weren't able to join live. Any parting words of wisdom from yourself, Zigtur?
Can you repeat, please?
Did you have any like last final points for anyone listening?
Yeah. I think that the most important thing is that you must enjoy your journey. If you are, I saw some tweet today about someone saying that he didn't like what he do, but discipline helps him. I think that having some discipline is important because you can't enjoy 100% of what you are doing. But for sure, if you don't like what you are doing, for example, you are just here for the money, or you will not enjoy it and it will not work at the end, for sure. So just find the way that you enjoy the things. And I think security research can be, yeah, like people want to audit because it has a lot of money, but I guess some people don't even like it, and may prefer developing or anything else. So yeah, that's my point. Just try to have fun in what you do, and because at the end, this is what matters.
Beautiful. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you again so much, and I will talk to everyone later.